What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to news. We're kicking things off with a bombshell from the UFC world. UFC commentator Michael Bisping is dropping jaws by suggesting that Israel Adesanya could be on the verge of retirement, potentially with a loss to Joe Pyfer at UFC Seattle tomorrow night. But the action doesn't stop there. This week, we're tracking UFC veterans as they test their skills across MMA, karate, boxing, and even Bareknuckle fighting. Plus, get ready for a massive showdown as Grasso faces off against Maycee Barber in a fight that could determine the next challenger for the women's flyweight title. And speaking of divisions heating up, UFC Flyweight Champion Joshua is making waves, boldly claiming he's the one who reignited interest in the entire flyweight division with his electrifying performances. We're diving deep into all these stories and more. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single second of the breakdown. Let's get into it.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Could this be the end of an era for Israel Adesanya? UFC commentator Michael Bisping has thrown a serious curveball, suggesting that a loss to Joe Pyfer at UFC Seattle could spell retirement for the former middleweight champion. This fight is massive for Adesanya, who's looking to prove he still belongs among the elite after a recent string of defeats. For Pyfer, it's a golden opportunity to score the biggest win of his career, likely aiming for a knockout finish. Bisping laid it out on the Believe You Me podcast. If Izzy loses this one, I think that'll be the end of his career. I think he will choose to say, I clearly haven't got it anymore. He points to Adesanya's age and the sport's unforgiving nature, where the sport often retires the fighter. With a potential loss making it 5 defeats in his last 6 outings, Bisping believes it's time to walk away. The MMA community is buzzing, with fans debating Bisping's harsh assessment. Is this Adesanya's final stand, or can he silence the doubters and continue his legacy? Don't go anywhere, because the fight world is buzzing with more than just retirement talk. Next up, we're breaking down a pivotal co-main event that could shake up the women's flyweight division. Get ready for a clash of titans in the women's flyweight division. Grasso and Maycee Barber are set to collide in a co-main event that has massive title implications. The winner of this bout is almost guaranteed a shot at the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship, making this a must-watch contest. Barber is currently favored by the oddsmakers, but Grasso has the experience and striking prowess to pull off an upset. Barber, riding an impressive 7-fight win streak, boasts a more balanced fighting style with solid striking and grappling numbers. Grasso, while known for her striking, has struggled recently, going winless in her last 3 UFC appearances. Betting markets suggest this fight will go the distance, but a decisive finish from either fighter could change everything. Fans are divided on who will emerge victorious, with many weighing in on Barber's momentum versus Grasso's championship pedigree. But the drama doesn't end there. We're also looking at how UFC veterans are making their mark across multiple combat sports. Next, we'll see who else is stepping into the octagon and beyond this week. The flyweights are back in the spotlight, and champion Joshua is ready to claim credit. Joshua, the current UFC flyweight champion, believes he's the catalyst that reignited fan interest in the once dormant flyweight division. After capturing the belt due to an injury to Alexander Pantoja, is now gearing up to defend his title against Tatsuro Taira at UFC 327. Didn't hold back in a recent interview, stating, "Before I came to the UFC, the flyweight division was ass. Nobody paid attention to the flyweight division, and then I come to the division and I lit a fire." He credits himself for bringing new talent and excitement, pointing to the stacked division featuring fighters like Taira, Brandon Royval, and Maynel Cape. He's eager to test himself against Taira, acknowledging his opponent's well-rounded skill set. Social media is alight with discussions, with some agreeing with Van's bold claims and others crediting the collective talent in the division. From title fights to potential retirements, the UFC landscape is constantly shifting. Coming up next, We'll recap all the big fights and news you need to know from across the combat sports world this week. Get ready for a whirlwind tour of combat sports action. This week, the UFC heads to Seattle for a stacked fight night headlined by Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. But the action isn't confined to one arena or even one sport. We're tracking UFC veterans stepping into the worlds of MMA, karate, boxing, and Bareknuckle fighting, showcasing the incredible versatility of these athletes. Beyond the main events, we're also looking at key matchups like Grasso versus Maycee Barber, a fight with significant title implications in the women's flyweight division. Plus, the flyweight division itself is buzzing, with champion Joshua making bold statements about his impact on the sport's popularity. And we can't forget the ongoing speculation about Israel Adesanya's future, with commentator Michael Bisping suggesting retirement could be on the horizon if he loses his upcoming bout. The combat sports community is buzzing with predictions, debates, and excitement for a packed week of fights and news. That's a wrap on our top stories for today. But before you go, stick around for our lightning round recap, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. What a week in combat sports. Israel Adesanya's potential retirement looms, UFC vets are competing everywhere, Grasso and Barber are set for a title eliminator, and Joshua is hyping up the flyweights. Don't miss any of the action like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, drop a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social media platforms for even more exclusive content. We'll see you next time.